This book was first published in 2007. It's called Inbound Marketing. And it's written by two guys. One's called Brian Halligan and another guy called Dharmesh Shah. They founded this company I mentioned earlier called HubSpot. Now, they're just a bit about their background. Brian Halligan was working in the corporate world, and so he was working with quite big, mostly software companies. And he was responsible for going around and trying to help them grow their sales. And he saw them pouring money into Google AdWords, advertising, sales teams, sales reps, telemarketing, cold calling, like huge, huge budgets. And he met this guy called Dharmesh Shah, who was a bit of a tech guy. And Dharmesh was getting hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of inquiries from a little tin pot blog that he was running that cost him nothing. And between those two things, here I'm doing something that costs me just a bit of time, a bit of expertise, a bit of knowledge, and gets lots of leads. And here's something that we pour thousands, millions of pounds into that just seems to maintain the status quo. And that's how they come up with this approach of inbound marketing. And it's grown from there. So the biggest way to kind of differentiate it between other forms of marketing is that you have inbound marketing is attracting people to you. Outbound marketing, the opposite, is you going out and pushing a message out onto other people. So most marketing is outbound marketing. If you run an advert in a magazine, that advert interrupts the content that people are trying to read. I mentioned earlier TV ads, they interrupt the TV show that you're trying to watch. I'm sure everyone really enjoys getting cold calls, right? But they interrupt what you're doing. Spam emails interrupt what you're trying to do. Most of these kind of traditional marketing techniques are based on interruption. What inbound marketing is, it lets people find you the way they want to find you and pulls them into you. So outbound is interruption based, it's kind of a push based marketing system where you're competing for attention with whatever it is that those people are trying to read or watch or enjoy. It mostly uses traditional media formats, and it's mainly about the size of your budget. If you wanted to advertise on ITV during the World Cup, you would be paying quite a big price for that. Inbound marketing is far more about getting people's permission to market rather than pushing something out to them, pulling them in, and it's a kind of a crucial principle is about educating people, educating your prospects, as to educating people as to why your service is better, why the quality is better, so that people understand that. Mike, what's better about your partitions? And if you do that in an educational way where people learn something, where they get some benefit from it, then that will be more valuable than a salesperson telling them that or having it specified in a quote. So it's about education. Mostly inbound marketing is online, and it uses mobile, it uses social media, and it's more about what you've got in your brain than the budget that you've got for advertising.
I think it's important to dwell on that for a second. Because I said earlier that it's not about the size of your budget anymore, you can compete with anybody. Everybody in this room knows a tremendous amount about your industry and what you do and how you do it. Yeah? And do you remember earlier I said that they've made the decision to work with you 60 to 80% before they make that information, before they make that contact. So what inbound marketing and what the opportunity you've got is to let those prospects know about you when they're ready to buy, because they all go into a thought process before they go into an action process. Does that make sense? So what we want to do today is get you to understand that it's the gold, what I mentioned earlier, is actually sitting within your business and within your expertise, and that's what your future inquiries want to know about before they make that inquiry. Does that make sense? That's inbound marketing.
So you can hear loads of different phraseology. So I'm just going to try and make it as clear as I can.
Sorry, Tim.
Can you move that across? Just
digital marketing or online marketing, that tends to be things like SEO, pay-per-click, website design, right?
Does everyone agree with that?
Yes.
Again, you go to a networking meeting, you'll meet a digital marketer there. Okay, then you have a method called content marketing. That's something that's been around for years and years and years. So that is, in this environment, we're going to talk mainly about the blog, video, images, using content to educate and entertain your target customers, whoever they may be. Then you've got the third one, which is something that Dave mentioned earlier, which is marketing automation, which is where you link software together so your marketing works together with a CRM system. You use email marketing, you use what I mentioned earlier, personalization. This bit in the middle, that's inbound marketing. It's where those three things work together. It's a specialist approach, but there's a defined method to it, which we're going to share with you today. And we've got a system of how you actually implement it in your business, and that's what we're going to go through. Does that make sense?